Patriots win 38-7 over the Miami Dolphins in Foxborough. They go to 2-2 on the year in Week 4. Woo! Or phew. This was a prove it or lose it game. And the Patriots proved, Miami, not this time. Every single member of the media that doubted us, you can officially shut up. To recap the game, let's go from here. The Patriots had 2 turnovers. They had 38 points, which was Brady having 3 or 4 touchdowns. James White had 2. Philip Dorsett had 2. And Cordell Patterson had 1. So a pretty good day from an offensive standpoint. And the defense gave up less than 10 points for the first time since the divisional round game against the Titans, which is pretty good. Considering that game we had 7 sacks. And this game we had about 5. So, what are my thoughts on the game? Number 1, Tom Brady looked like Tom Brady. Number 2, Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels were calling the right plays again. They weren't calling stupid runs or passes, but they were doing it with style. When there needed to be a run, there was a run. When there needed to be a pass, there was a pass. We only punted like 2 times or something like that. Whew. The Patriots now have an average amount of points of, I think it's about 21 from where it was a couple of weeks, from where it was, I think 2 or 3 weeks, from where it was last week at 20 plus 31 plus 51 plus 26 is 77. 77 divided by 3 is 20. 72 divided by 3 would be 24. From a 25.33 to now a 84 divided by 4 is to 21. So a pretty good thing, like pretty good on the defense. Dolores seems like he's now comfortable. Sony Michel has really improved this game over the past 2 weeks where he seemed like he was running into constant defenders. This game he was finding open lanes. He was getting 10, 15, 20 yards. James White, he had a huge game. He had a couple good runs of 40 yards, of 30 yards. He had a couple touchdowns. Michel got his first touchdown today. And it just looked great. So, if you watched my last video, I have a very negative take. This week, as you can tell, I'm pretty positive. I take back a lot what I said last week. Max Kellerman is never right. Max Kellerman is always going to be wrong. And this game, though, it was pretty good. It was pretty good, if not great. This reminds me of games like the game last year against Atlanta. There were those games against Tampa Bay and New York, but those games, it kind of felt like we were barely winning those. This game just kind of felt like we were knowing what we were going to do. Against Cincinnati about 4 years ago, when, remember, Patriots, Pats Nation, we're on to Cincinnati. That came a rallying cry, and pretty much that's the tagline for every single loss. And I said last week we're on to Miami. We were truly on to Miami. Josh Gordon, 2 catches, 37 yards. I like kind of easing him into the system. He played 17 of 37 snaps. So he wasn't on the field for a lot, but I think that was mainly due to the fact that they were kind of easing him in, not trying to rush him into completely going into the system, but kind of easing him in, making sure he gets used to the system before he goes full on into the system in the next couple weeks. And that's going to be especially needed in 2 weeks when we face the Chiefs and probably against the Colts. But I think Gordon will have been in the system for 3 weeks by the time we face the Colts and 4 weeks by the time we face the Chiefs. I think he'll be okay. What did I notice different other than receivers? What did I notice different about Brady? Well, he was not forcing the ball out. He wasn't making mistakes. He wasn't trying to get the ball to Gronkowski all the time. He was a little more give some to Gronk, give some to Dorsett, give some to Patterson, give some to Gordon, give some to White, give some to Michelle. He was kind of just giving people different plays, different kinds of packages, and he looked a lot better. He looked like he was throwing the ball better. He looked like he was more comfortable with the ball. Gronk, I think the whole thing with him, he's still being double covered because he's Gronk, but he's now kind of relaxing, adapting to that double coverage for this year. And now he feels like he's in there, he's doing good. Who else did I forget about? Oh yeah, from a defensive standpoint, they did not give up a play inside they did not allow the Dolphins inside the 50 from the first quarter to about the end of the fourth quarter in garbage time. And that touchdown wasn't garbage time, so I'll give him a pass there. The best outcome on a defensive standpoint, on an offensive standpoint, it was also the best outcome. I thought this game was going to be a lot closer. I thought it was going to be like 27, 20, 33, 28, something like that. But the Dolphins, I don't know what it is. The fact that they played the Raiders, the Titans game was just endless rain delays, and they faced the Jets week 2. They kind of came down to earth. The Patriots came down to earth. The Patriots fans came down to earth today when they realized it's not what you hear on WEEI. So, to anybody who likes to listen to Kirk and Callahan, I listen to them occasionally, but I think their talking points will go over the edge a lot of the time. But it was a good game. It was a very good game, and that was probably a very good turning point in this team. And because of that, I feel very confident going into Thursday, going in Kansas City. But we have a pretty tough schedule. It's going to be Indianapolis, Kansas City. It's going to be the Chicago Bears on the road in Chicago. The Bills on the road. If you saw the Bills over the past couple weeks, you know that might be a little easier. Green Bay, that's going to be pretty tough. Tennessee, pretty tough. Who else? We have a bye, then we have the Jets. The Vikings, that could be a good game. Then it's going to be the same 4 games as last year. We face the Dolphins again. We face the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then we face the Bills and the Jets. So that's kind of the whole thing with our schedule. Patriots right now 2-2, and it's a good day because the Patriots won. It's the last day of Major League Baseball's regular season. We'll see if there's any tiebreaker games tomorrow. And the Red Sox play Friday and Saturday in the ALDS. They'll play again Monday. So it'll be an exciting week for sports. And the Bruins open up on Wednesday. And the Celtics have some preseason games. They don't open up their season for another 2 weeks. Hopefully, we'll have all our teams playing in the regular season or playoffs come 2 weeks' time. But as far as this, it's a good day to be a Pats fan.